I came across this screenshot on Twitter of this alleged Reset Era thread who's alleging that their friend works at Square Enix and they have Kingdom Hearts 4 news.
I saw this. Okay, everything needs to be taken with a huge grain of salt. Everything.
I found this grain of salt in the ocean. I'm licking it right now. Yummy. Look.
But in my heart of hearts, I want it to be true. Because, oh my god, it sounds like what I have wanted Kingdom Hearts 4 to be forever. It's what I've wanted. It's what I've wanted from this franchise for fucking ever. I'm so tired of this bullshit. I'm so fucking tired of it. But just go. Just start talking about it. Because,
all right.
Again.
All the information is provided here. I'm just going to be reading it like straight through. All the information was provided to me on a former colleague who I'm very close with outside of work. This person has lived in Japan since early 2019 and worked at Square Enix's Osaka headquarters in early 2020, right before the pandemic. KH4 was supposed to be released in 2026, but was delayed to third quarter 2027 back in summer of 2025 to ensure quality. As it stands, KH4's development is going actually very smoothly into this new schedule. However, Square is unsure when they'll reveal the next trailer. Marketing is currently deciding between D23 or Tokyo Game Show, with TGA being considered if
you wanted my opinion on when you drop this trailer to get people fucking rabid, it's TGS or TGA. TGA generational announcement with if you announce it at TGA this December and say coming summer 2027,
people will blow their brains out. Enjoy.
People will fucking rip their shirts off. Dude,
I'm gonna be ripping my shirt off to reveal the fucking like mouth makeout meme of Sora and Riku. I'm back. Fujoshi's carry franchises. What can we say, folks?
It applies to Kingdom Hearts as well.
TGA is considered if they can't secure either of the two events. So Takashi Kiryu, who is one of the directors of the series, decided to focus KH hard internally in 2025, providing the team with even more manpower. Canceling Missing Link and getting the franchise away from mobile titles was something he believed was necessary to bring KH4 to the current generation of gaming and stabilize the series release schedule. Yes, absolutely. That is absolutely correct. Thank you so fucking much for understanding.
Correct. Your goal, if you want to keep this franchise relevant, you need to have Osaka team all on the same page. They need to all be on the same page. I personally would rather smaller scale titles come back for KH. However, if the goal is mainline titles only moving forward, it needs to be a condensed team. We cannot have external lore coming from external places like mobile games anymore. It is not fucking fundamentally sound. It doesn't actually solve anything with the problems that this franchise has.
On top of that, the only reason it worked in the past is because we had a gaming market that was constantly able to support it. Yeah, we had the mainline games on the PS2, and then we had supplemental titles on like the Game Boy Advance and the DS. But that was, again, they were in a position where they could focus internally on the AAA game, but also release AA titles on handhelds because that's where the market was and that's where we were able to be. Unfortunately, Nomura, I'm sorry for blaming Nomura, but I'm going to blame Nomura for this. He didn't understand that and understood that a little too late. That's why he pushed so hard on Missing Link and developing that as supplemental material. And now, oh, look at that. You put too much money into it and it all went to shit.
I mean, it's also a problem that every single Square Enix gacha game completely and totally fucking dies or collapses in on itself. Like, let's be so for real. People talk about Opera Omnia a lot, and they say it was actually really well made and really well designed and really fun, despite being a gacha game. Nobody plays Square Enix gacha games because they're all fucking... They also have some of the worst monetization around. They're horrible.
I'm surprised Ever Crisis has lasted as long as it did. I'm giving it like another 2 years till EOS.
FF7 Gooners. That's why.
Once the remakes are done, a year or two after that, EOS.
It's dead. Not before the Persona 5 collab though.
Oh yeah, we need that first.
Right before.
All right. Okay. Continuing on. The Disney worlds are much more expansive than any other game before, focusing heavily on cinematic spectacle and exploration even more than KH3. Quadratum is where a large portion of the game's story is spent and is bigger than all the Disney worlds. Making each world, both Disney and KH original, as full as they currently are is what has been taking up a large chunk of the development and what the majority of manpower has been going towards. Good, very good, for the most part.
There's problems. Well, because if the idea is to actually make fully fledged worlds, you actually need them to like have a sense of direction. Because KH3 world design in theory is not bad, but in execution it has a lot of problems with how you explore. I think that there are certain worlds where they nail the exploration. Like I think the Pirates world is pretty cool. The commanding the ship, going to sea, all that stuff is really cool and really fun. But again, a lot of it just has to do with the fact that like you have to design the move set to be able to get around this, and then you also have to make sure that your toolkits are not entirely designed around dealing with large waves of enemies, because that was the problem with the Kingdom Hearts 3 combat system, and now they had to take a whole year to fix it and make it really good, but you can't fix the base game. All right, I'm calm. It's fine. I'm fine. It's okay.
My issue with KH3 was more so that like it really was the opposite of the quantity versus quality problem, where most people go like, "Oh no, you want more quality stuff." And unfortunately, a big part of why I think a lot of people like KH2 was because there were a lot of worlds. And yeah, you didn't spend a lot of time in them, but honestly, half the fun of this fucking series is watching this anime boy with his best friends Donald and Goofy react to Disney worlds in real time. So, not having a lot of moments like that in KH3 was kind of a bad side of it, in my opinion. And a lot of it also had to do with the fact that you really did not do that much in the Disney world to begin with, and the game's story really only got going until at the end game of it, which is insane, Nomura. What is wrong with you?
Well, there's a ton of rumors about that, specifically about like Disney oversight, Bob Iger like continually like fighting with Tetsuya Nomura. Like a whole back and forth about how they didn't want anime in any of their Disney properties, and they're very like, they don't want the chocolate and the peanut butter to mix, so they're very hesitant. And it's like, the nonsense is part of why it's awesome. You ever see the text beat up Peter Pan in a video game and not go like, this is the funniest shit ever? I'm so down.
A little bit of absurdism never hurt anybody, man.
Not the mega corporation that's completely collapsing in on itself as it loses its entire identity to slop. But, you know, that's besides the point. Anyway,
speaking of slop, Disney approved Square's usage of their other properties, such as Marvel and Star Wars, within KH years ago.
This was expected. They're going for a more realistic angle. I'm not a huge fan of it. However, all I'll say is that, listen, man, Darth Vader Super Boss would be the funniest thing of all time, and you should do it.
Yoko Shimomura Duel of the Fates and a Keyblade lightsaber, it would be peak. We would reach new heights like KH2 we've never seen before.
Dude, what if Terra and Anakin meet and would be like, you know, we're not so different, you and I. One can only hope. Anyways.
I hope they do the sand bit. That would be hysterical.
Yes, I agree.
Anyway, and also this is specifically what Nomura was talking about at the Second Breath concert back in 2023. If you've forgotten, that was a concert just to do some celebratory stuff for the music, and Nomura and Yoko Shimomura were in attendance, and they did a Q&A type thing. I guess this is what Nomura talked to offhand. I remember now. I think Yoko Shimomura was like about to slip and say something, and Nomura like had to like get closer and tell her like, no, don't talk. So that's what this is.
Yes. Okay. Interesting. Anyways,
the build system as well as the chain of bonding systems, which is the keychain Sora uses in the reveal trailer, faced a massive overhaul after a large batch of new staff were brought on in 2023. It's now greatly expanded from what was originally planned to be, going far beyond anything previous entries have done with their combat. Okay, that sounds pretty promising. Keyblade switching will return with extremely versatile combo potential. Reaction commands have also been modified to work in tandem with Keyblade switching and were designed to feel like a direct evolution of what reaction commands were in KH2. Critical mode and data bosses are also planned to be included at launch, but have not been implemented into the current build yet.
Wait, do you know how good this sounds? Do you know how nice this sounds to me? I have said it for a really long time. Remind was Osaka Team finally getting the fucking slap in the face of, oh, we actually have to design bosses that challenge players in a meaningful way and aren't super bullshit to fight against. And they did it. They made really great bosses, dude.
Yeah, no, the Data fights in Remind were probably some of the best boss fights in the entire series.
Yozora is like a fucking, like a swan song for them, being like, please have faith in us in our combat. We can make good stuff. You have to let us cook. And they proved it. They did prove that they could do it. This, to me, sounds exactly like what I wanted Cage Combat to be. The like situation command system in 3 was a good idea in theory, but execution wise, it was just so all over the place, and you didn't have any real control of what you wanted to do in combat half the time, and it felt like it was just, there was no real like way to push and pull. Reaction commands are great because they're quick, they're simple, and there's lots of small individual little nuanced tweaks that you can do to it to make it interesting. Build system, whatever the fuck it's going to be, is going to be interesting. Keyblade switching being instantaneous was one of the big things that people wanted for Cage 3. The item swap glitch, which lets you do it almost instantly, proves how fucking cool you can make Keyblade combat. Especially if Keyblade forms in some idea return, which now means that you have lots of different ways to continue your combos. Now you actually consider your Keyblade layout if you're Keyblade switching, and so on and so forth. Like, to me, that's the ideal situation. I really, really want... There is nothing more I want than Cage 4 to be a great game. Like, I don't think you guys realize, okay? I have my own feelings on Cage 3. I need to replay it to really solidify my feelings, but this just sounds so good. This is why I say I'm taking this with a huge grain of salt. It literally sounds perfect to me. It sounds like the perfect storm of everything I want from Kingdom Hearts, but I don't think that's what we're going to get.
Well, on top of that, active party member switching was also considered, but ended up getting scrapped. Understandable, I suppose. Many portions of the story not focusing specifically on Sora have been rearranged and cut. Riku is much more involved in the plot than originally planned and has multiple long stretches of playable segments. Interesting. Very interesting.
To me, I think that the best Kingdom Hearts games are generally the ones that focus on Sora specifically. I think one of the big problems that I have with Cage 3 is that I feel like the game focuses on Sora, but it doesn't focus on him enough. It doesn't actively give us an insight into Sora's mind and thoughts. It only gives us brief glimpses. If Cage 4 is going to be a game where we finally start to understand where Sora is at, post Cage 2, what's going through his head, how he's been feeling about everything, and really dig into what's going on under the hood, and maybe also get some more introspection on Riku, and I guess more or less some of his feelings about all of this, I'm fine with that. But, you know, there's a giant female-shaped elephant in the room that Tetsuya Nomura refuses to address. When will she do anything? When will she do anything, Nomura? When will she be by herself and able to lock in? Fuck you.
Here's the thing. One thing that I really want to see, the consequences, if there are any, of Sora technically being the inheritor of Xehanort's Keyblade. As I don't know if you, like, remember that plot. Like, technically, through Birth by Sleep, we learned that, like, he got Ventus's Keyblade because Ventus just remained dormant in his heart. But after KH3... and Xehanort passes the Keyblade to Sora, that's technically like a succession ceremony. So I kind of want to see if that's gonna mean anything.
If there is some sort of implication about it, that would be really interesting. But we do know that Luxu technically has Xehanort's Keyblade again. What's the name of the Keyblade? Because he says that the
Eye Eater, something like that, something Eater, Dark Eater.
No. Soul Eater is Riku's, like, the Batwing weapon that he has, and then Way to Dawn is the Keyblade he gets on Cage 2.
Oh, it's literally called No Name. Okay.
Yes, it's literally called No Name, but the Eye is I believe the Master of Masters uses it as like a tracking device almost, which is why Luxu can pick it back up, because originally it was his Keyblade. So. Yeah. Anyways,
Final Fantasy characters are returning, but with modernized designs very similar to Dissidia Duellum's design.
Yeah, if there's anywhere you're gonna put the Final Fantasy characters, you should just stick them in fucking Quadratum. By the way, I hope you guys are ready for the Evet Selk jump scare to happen. For those who have played Final Fantasy 14, when he shows up, I think I'm going to belly laugh like hard, bro.
No, I think a real, like, I know Nomura didn't really have that much involvement with 13, but having fucking Lightning just like as a model in somewhere in Quadratum would be fucking hysterical.
Easiest shit in the entire world. I'm also going to be honest and say that, like, I could see every single 15 character making an appearance, except Noctis, because, Zora. You also can expect, at least from my perspective, you can probably expect if the KH characters are coming back. I expect a lot of the 14 Scions to make an appearance. Alphino, Alice, Y'shtola are the easy ones. Thancred, maybe. Reen and Gaia. Gaia's there for sure, bro. That's Nomura's OC. You don't think he's taking the opportunity to throw that bitch in there? Absolutely.
Honestly, I can very well see these characters being like a pantheon of gods of Sorth and Quadratum as well, knowing Nomura.
I wouldn't even go so far as to say gods, but I think it would be very funny if, look, all I'm saying is, if you want some Final Fantasy secret bosses, you could easily pull Sephiroth. That's an easy one. He's been there before. Cloud will be there. Of course he's there. He's always there, bro. I'm also going to keep it 100 with you guys. You know who's going to be there? Who probably might be a secret boss, and maybe this is just the Final Fantasy 14 fanboy in me showing. I think Xenos being a secret boss in Kingdom Hearts would be the funniest thing of all time. Just the rampaging evil, like hedonistic murder motherfucker coming up to Sora Kingdom Hearts, the the most joyful character of all time, and being like,
yeah, just take it easy, man.
He's like, yo, bro, chill. He's like, nah, man, we're fighting right now. And it's like, okay, I guess. So those are some ideas for Final Fantasy characters, at least. But remember, we're just speculating because this sounds too good to be true. How the fuck could any of this be true?
Yeah, we'll talk a bit more of that at the end. Missing Link's cancellation was something that was considered as early as late 2024, causing Nomura and the writing team to reevaluate what elements from the story could be most important to include in KH4. Many of Missing Link's key story elements will be presented through playable segments with Mickey, Ventus, Kairi, and 2 characters new to the series. That's where I'm a little stuck at. Not to say there can't be new characters per se, just like
I guess okay. We know Mickey is like we know excuse me. King Mickey, not that hedonistic fuck Michael Mouse. Okay, King Mickey the GOAT. We know that King Mickey is dicking around with Donald and Goofy right now, trying to figure out something, right? I am also fairly sure that Donald and Goofy will not be playable party members in this game. For Sora. I think we're gonna actually get a rather interesting scenario where the segments where we do play as Mickey, Donald and Goofy are going to be his party members, which I think is amazing. I think it's really fun.
I mean, that would be some like Three Musketeers type shit. And honestly, I kind of am down for that too, where you get something akin to the original KH1 system with Mickey, Donald, and Goofy. That would be very fascinating.
I think it would be really cool if they even went so far. Many have been saying this, and I am also of the opinion, I think it'd be really cool to bring tech points back from KH1. And if you want a place to show off the system, I feel like having it be Mickey, Donald, Goofy, and it being your introduction to tech points would be really cool. So I'm all for Mickey having Donald and Goofy as playable party members. Ventus, I don't really know what Ventus would be up to at this point. Interesting that Ventus is brought up even to begin with.
I mean, the thing is, we know Ventus is kind of displaced from time, considering Union Cross and Dark Road. So, I think maybe they'll explore that.
Maybe. I don't know enough about Union Cross and Dark Road and what's going on with Ventus. Isn't that motherfucker a murderer? Isn't there some, deep lore about,
there is a lot of deep lore in regards to Ventus, yes. And, the thing is that
maybe we actually explore
all we know for sure in regards to Ventus is that he was displaced from time and lost his memory somehow. That's what we know for sure.
So, Lord only knows what's in store for him. Kyrie fucking anything, man.
Literally anything.
Please give me... You know what I need for Kyrie? I need character development, bro. I need introspection. Motherfucker, I gotta know what's going on.
Fucking put her with Aqua. Do some training thing with Aqua. Anything! Anything's good, Nomura. Anything.
And then 2 new characters. I expect it from Quadratum. Maybe they don't have Keyblades necessarily, but maybe they do something else. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. KH4 was also supposed to have an online system as a companion to Missing Link, allowing players to unlock special items like summons, build gears, and Keyblades by linking their Missing Link account and completing certain objectives within that game. A multiplayer aspect to this was also planned, but after the cancellation, the online system was heavily reworked to not include any reference to Missing Link and almost acts as an entire entirely separate experience to KH4's main story. Regarding other titles within the series, there are currently 2 games besides KH4 that are in development. A fully animated HD recap movie of Union Cross Dark Road in the same vein as the back cover to be released quarter 1, 2027.
Completely expect this, by the way. This is something from this leak that even if it's not, like, even if this leak is fake, this is actually the one thing that I completely expect. They have to explain what goes on in Union Cross and Dark Road because so many people have not actually played those games, and the only way you can interact with them is through YouTube story, or through YouTube, to actually understand what's going on. They have to explain it somehow. It's the same thing with back cover.
It was ultimately decided that it will be bundled with KH4 to ensure players know the necessary lore that will be vital for understanding KH4's story. Oh, Nomura. Nomura. You can't help yourself, can you? Look, I'm glad it's there, and I'm glad that's being considered, but Nomura, you really can't help yourself, can you?
I mean, it's very easily just going to get ripped and uploaded to YouTube. So, like,
okay,
you know. Whatever, fine.
And there are also extra cutscenes that will include lore originally meant to be revealed in Missing Link. Fair enough. A side game focused on Kairi is in very early development and will run parallel to KH4's story.
It's fake. I'm sorry. This is the thing that killed the leak for me. If it's true,
If it's true, then like... Oh
then,
my
like,
god.
What,
oh my god.
Maybe God is real, right?
I mean, all I'm saying is that if it's true... They gotta have a lot of female writers on that game.
She needs a lot, bro. They really gotta make this character fleshed out.
Yeah.
It's been 20 plus years and we don't get enough of Kairi. The world needs Kairi to actually fuck it, get Ishikawa on it. I don't give a fuck. Get Ishikawa on it.
For real.
Give a fuck. Get Ishikawa on it. Let her cook. Let her make a game about how Kairi has to discover herself and actually understand, like, maybe why she's been so hesitant to fight in the first place or some shit. I don't fucking know anything for her. She needs it.
A full remake of KH1 and Days was being considered for a time, but Nomura decided to put both on the back burner in order to push the KH franchise forward into the Lost Master arc at full speed. Completely fair, completely reasonable. I will say this, though. KH1, we don't need a remake for. Days, yes. I think we do. I think we should get a remake for Days at some point.
I think Days is a game that is applicable to remake for multiple reasons. 1, you could still include the Days system. 2, the online multiplayer aspect could be expanded beyond belief. Are you kidding me? Oh, you can just casually tell me right now that a full 3D recreation, mission-based online mode where I can play as all my favorite Kingdom Hearts characters right now is like a real thing that you could give me? Yeah, bro. Just put the money in the bag. I think Days getting a remake makes sense. I think KH1 getting a remake makes no sense. The game is accessible on all platforms. Sure, it's a little janky and it's got some weirdness to it, but for the most part, it doesn't need a remake. I think the game is more than fine.
Yeah. Now here's the oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. Sora, Riku, and Kairi are planned to come to Fortnite as skins. Ah!
Hold on. Do you want to know what the thing is?
What?
I believe it.
I believe it too. That's why I have this on my temple right now.
I just fully believe it. Like, look, man, the world is not ready for Sora Kingdom Hearts hitting the gritty. Okay? The world is not ready for him hitting the gritty. All right? Are you ready to watch Sora Kingdom Hearts do some Miku dances or some shit? Because that's what's about to happen.
It was originally planned to be released at the end of 2026, but was pushed back to be closer to KH4's Q3 2027 release. FF7 Remake was also planned to have a Fortnite collab with skins and a limited time game mode in first quarter 2027, so Square decided to space these two collabs out to maximize interest and profit. Okay, sure, whatever you say. Nomura and the team are very aware of the doom and gloom mindset that's been going on with the community for a long time. Nomura originally wanted to release a second batch of screenshots for the recent anniversary, but multiple other team members invited that it would be in bad taste towards the fans. Well, considering the reaction the last batch of screenshots get, yeah, I see why. I see.
I mean, ultimately, announcing your game and then going dead silent is pretty rough, but it also is better than kind of like the gradual edging that we had for years. For KH4 or KH3, where it felt like we were getting content every year, but it never actually got a release date. It was like, what the fuck's going on?
Once the next trailer is revealed later this year, bits of information are planned to be revealed much more consistently across multiple events. The 25th anniversary event is where the Union Cross Dark Road remake movie is supposed to be revealed. The Switch 2 native ports will be revealed here as well. We already know that that's a thing, so yep. That's the TLDR. Development's going well, despite the delay. It's aiming for Q3 2027. Union Cross Dark Road HD recap movie bundled with KH4. Kyrie game early in development. Look forward to a trailer this year. Okay, so yeah, massive grain of salt here, but like, if they can pull all this off. The Kyrie game, I don't know. I don't know about that, Chief. I'm going to be real with you. I don't know about that.
Two men invested in the Disney Square Enix crossover franchise contemplate how the game will write women.
and that's the thing, dog. This is a series from the 2000s. The answer is not very well.
That's an understatement, bro. That's a disaster. They've done Kyrie so dirty over so many years. It's like, oh my lord.
Yeah.